Marvelous hello, friends and loved ones! How are you today? I don't really have a good intro for this video. I'm gonna be talking about Sly Cooper. Cue the Persona 5 joke!
You never see it come back.
Being a 90s kid, it's safe to say I grew up in the bastion of the mascot platformer. From the big dogs like Mario and Sonic, to the medium-sized dogs like Crash Bandicoot and Banjo-Kazooie, to the, I don't know, ferrets that are pretending to be dogs like Sparkster and Arrow the Acrobat. There's just something I really like about mascot platformers, though I had a bit of a falling out with them around the PS2 GameCube era in favor of JRPGs like Baten Kaidos. I'll probably talk about this game one day. So for a good long while, there existed Sly Cooper, a series I had a profound interest in, but never actually played. In fact, I still haven't really played it, despite picking up the PS3 trilogy several years ago. It just kinda sat on my shelf, wedged between South Park: The Stick of Truth and, well, Persona 5.
You never see it come back.
But one of the upsides about having a YouTube channel is that I can use the excuse of doing a video on it to get myself to play through a game like this. So today, we're gonna be looking at the first entry in the Sly Cooper series, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Created by Sucker Punch, who are best known for their work on the N64 classic, Rocket Robot on Wheels, Sly Cooper was created for the PlayStation 2 in what I can only assume was an attempt to create a mascot for the console. Naughty Dog had Jak and Daxter, Insomniac had Ratchet and Clank, and Sucker Punch had Sly Cooper, a Master Thief raccoon who stems from a long line of Master Thief raccoons. Like most mascot platformers, the story of Sly Cooper is simple, but it's enough to justify what we're going to be doing for the next couple of hours. A villainous group called the Fiendish Five attacked Sly's home when he was a kid, killed his dad, and ripped the Thievius Raccoonus, a book containing all the Cooper clan's thief techniques, into 5 pieces before spreading themselves around the globe. Now an adult, and with his own crew, a technical turtle named Bentley, and a fast-driving hippo named Murray, Sly plans a quick heist in Paris to snatch a police file from his rival/romantic tension causer, Carmelita Fox, who is a fox. Take that however you want. And from there, you hunt down the Fiendish Five one by one, infiltrate their bases, play through levels, collect their treasure keys, and eventually take them down. Before entering each world, the game has a small cutscene where Sly lets us know just who we're about to fight, what their role in the Fiendish Five is, and a quick backstory that led to them turning evil. In the case of our first foe, Sir Raleigh the Frog, the organization's machinist, currently hiding out in an island off the coast of Wales, he was a rich kid who got bored and thought piracy would be good for a laugh. One of the things I quickly discovered I love about Sly Cooper is, unlike a lot of platformers, none of the levels just feel like levels. They don't feel like these random areas disconnected from the hub world. In Sly Cooper, each level you go through is a specific part of the villain's lair, and it makes sense that you would need to raid it. As far as movement goes, Sly starts out with only a couple of tricks up his sleeve. He can jump, climb certain objects, and as a way to swing around or take out enemies, he has his trusted cane that has been passed down through generations. Aside from being a platformer, Sly Cooper is also a stealth game, so rather than running and jumping willy-nilly, players need to be careful guiding Sly past searchlights or around laser traps. Luckily, if you're like me and are absolutely horrible at stealth games, the game is pretty forgiving. I really like the platforming mixed with stealth gameplay, and it's an absolute blast playing as Sly and running around, which is why I want to quickly get my least favorite part of this game out of the way. Each world has at least one, usually more, levels that try and mix up the gameplay, and they just aren't that fun. In fact, most of the times they're pretty annoying. Like this submarine stage in Raleigh's lair, these Murray races later in the game, pointless turret escort stages, and these hovercraft ones which... Okay, these ones actually aren't that bad. Throughout most of the normal levels are a number of clue bottles to be collected, and if you get them all, you can open up a vault to learn a new move for Sly to use. Many of these are pretty useless, like turning your hat into a grenade or making a cardboard cutout of yourself to distract guards. And while I'm usually not one to bother with collectibles like this, I recommend getting them because you can eventually unlock things like immunity to bottomless pits and water, which are normally instant death. Sly, you're supposed to be a master thief capable of overcoming any obstacle. Learn to freaking swim. Once you collect all 7 treasure keys in a level, you can go fight the member of the Fiendish Five ruling your current zone. Raleigh is a pretty good first boss. He's dangerous enough, but slow, and you can follow his patterns and figure out when you're supposed to attack him. He feels pretty close to the type of bosses I remember from my Crash Bandicoot days. Once he's defeated, he'll tell us we're no match for Mugshot out in Utah, which, I mean, thanks for the info, dude. Helps me out a lot. And after beating each boss, there's another quick cutscene where Sly escapes, Carmelita arrests the villain we just defeated, and then the Sly Cooper gang has a bit of fun before going back to the headquarters to go to the next zone. It's a quick little scene that I think adds more to the audience connection with this cast of characters rather than the story itself. Once I got to the second area of the game, Mugshot's hideout of Mesa City, Utah, I found another thing I love about the world of Sly Cooper. Each world is presented like the setting of a Saturday morning cartoon show, and the settings, soundtrack, and themes of each world do an awesome job of reflecting the Fiendish Five members we're taking down. A stormy, secluded island made perfect sense for a foppish frog, but for a big, tough gangster bulldog like Mugshot, the dark city alleys and bright light casinos give his lair an identity all its own. Mesa City also introduces us to a new type of level where Carmelita shows up to try and arrest Sly. I really like these Carmelita levels for 2 big reasons. For one, I think it mixes up the gameplay without relying on, stuff like this. And 2, it's genuinely heart-pounding. In most of Sly's levels, the stealth aspect lets you take your time and carefully assess the situation. In these ones, you better be on your toes and keep moving or else you're gonna get shot. It's just a shame there aren't very many of these stages in the game. Mugshot's boss fight is probably my least favorite in the entire game. You're in these crystal-filled environments with all these mirrors, and you just have to run around hitting the mirrors to spin them around. I guess when all the mirrors are spun around, it gets hot and melts his guns or something. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, and it's not very satisfying of a boss battle to not even attack Mugshot directly. You just run around and jump and smack mirrors until you win, where Mugshot tells you we'll never be able to stop Miss Ruby down in Haiti. You guys really need to stop making it this easy for me. And just like before, we get a little cutscene where Sly and friends get out of the lair, Carmelita swoops in to arrest Mugshot, and we have a quick R&R session before planning out our next mission. So in Haiti, we need to take down Ms. Ruby, a voodoo practicing gator who was teased a lot as a kid, and these levels can either be a breeze or fairly frustrating. See, upon recovering a section of the Thievius Raccoonus from each Fiendish Five member, Sly gains access to a new ability that will be utilized a lot in the upcoming world. The one we got from Mugshot is all about rail sliding and walking, which we're gonna need to do a lot through this swamp. The Haiti levels are beautifully designed, have amazing music, and really stand out. They also introduce us to these hovercraft levels, which, like I said before, I don't hate these. By the way, this was the world where I finally decided I needed to start collecting the clue bottles in all the old levels because it really helps to have that anti-water ability in, a swamp. So that's just my 2 cents. The boss battle against Miss Ruby is a huge upgrade from Mugshot. To take down Ms. Ruby, Sly is gonna have to prove he's got the rhythm and the rhyme to play a little rhythm-based Simon Says if he wants to get close to the voodoo lizard.
A little voodoo Simon Says, huh? Sounds easy enough.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Now, to clue you all in, this boss battle should be easy, fun, and thrilling. For most people. For me, my circle button kept jamming, so this took me longer than I'd like to admit, but even when I kept dying, I was having fun. It's not quite as hands-on as the fight against Raleigh was, but it's a huge step up from Mugshot's fight. But we defeat Ruby, and she tells us we'll never be able to stop the Panda King. Third verse, same as the first. Sly, Bentley, and Murray get away as Carmelita shows up and arrests Ruby, and... Okay, wait. All of these front page headlines keep talking about how sexy Carmelita is. I mean, just look at these. Latin hottie busts big bad voodoo mama. Hot stuff with a badge collars canine criminal. Hot chick with gun busts amphibious yuckmouth. I mean, what kind of perverted, unprofessional fool is writing these articles? I am. Yeah, okay, moving on. So as we prepare to head off to China, Oh, wow, that is just now sinking in. For those of you that aren't following me on Twitter, this isn't a joke or anything. I'm actually moving to China in like a couple of months. I'll probably talk about that later, but let's just get back to the game. Okay, thanks. Anyway, we head off to China to take down the Panda King, a poor child who loved fireworks and wanted to make them for rich nobles. When the nobles shunned him for his shabby clothes, he used his newfound skills at making explosives to become a criminal. The snowy mountain temples of China, coupled with all the fireworks and explosions, make these some of the most visually memorable levels in the entire game. We get one level that lets us test out our brand new power. Sly can turn himself completely invisible. So, I guess what I'm saying is you'll literally
Never see it come back.
We get another Carmelita chase level, and we get another Protect Murray with the turret level, and another Murray race level.
Come on, Sly, they're a pack of monkeys! How can I lose?
Whoa, Murray, you can't be saying that.
Those stupid monkeys!
Murray! The boss battle against the Panda King is both good and bad, like some sort of, I don't know, concept or symbol that represents the balance of two things together. Whatever. On the good side of things, I like that it's just a direct battle again. Sly Cooper's combat versus the Panda King's Flame Fu. No gimmicks, no tricks, just an actual boss fight. On the other hand, it's laughably easy. One of the easiest parts in the entire game. All you have to do is dodge these fireballs as you climb up and then whack him a couple of times, moving out of the way whenever he loudly announces one of his attacks. Repeat this about 4 times and that's it. Sly escapes, Carmelita arrests the Panda King, I write a creepy headline talking about how hot she is. Let's move on. As the gang heads to the final area, a volcano in Russia, Sly tries to look through the case file and dig up any information on the mysterious Clockwork, the leader of the Fiendish Five, when he notices that all these old photos of his ancestors have the same shadowy figure lurking in them. And this zone is unlike everywhere else in the game. There's no hub world, no clue bottles, just a series of different challenges in a fixed order, and it's not great. Let me just go over them really quickly. Railgun section, pretty fun. Driving battle arena, not very fun. Stealth-based section to rescue Carmelita from a death trap, very fun, but insanely short. Weird Bentley Asteroids game to disable the death trap, it's alright. Turret section where you play as Carmelita to shoot enemies so Sly can get his cane back, nothing special except actually playing as Carmelita is pretty cool. Timed super climb utilizing almost all of Sly's moves and abilities, awesome. Awesome to the max. And then it's time to come face to face with Clockwork. This is our Bowser, our Eggman, our Neo Cortex, our, whoever Bubsy had. Yeah, that thing. And he's an enormous robot owl. Alright. I just want to say really quickly that I love Clockwork's voice. There's something delightfully sinister about it.
You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
But then again, I'm fond of any creepy robotic voices.
Now, entertain me.
Clockwork has been hunting and hating the Cooper family for hundreds of years, and when Sly asks him how he managed to do that, Clockwork says a steady diet of jealousy and hate has kept him alive. So you see folks, Clockwork's diet carefully follows the food pyramid. You can see he's got a nice balance of fruits and veggies. He's got plenty of meats and cheeses to build up protein and calcium for strong, healthy bones. Lots of grains, that's very important. And at the bottom, an incredible amount of raccoon hatred builds out a healthy diet where you can live for hundreds of years. Clockwork's boss fight is not horrible, but it's just in this jetpack section, and you have to go through a couple of phases, and it doesn't really feel satisfying. It doesn't feel like the abilities I've honed throughout the entire game are being put to the test. I'm just literally being strapped into a whole new mechanic for the final boss fight. Until Phase 3, which is exactly what I just described, Sly has to dodge fast-moving lasers, rail walk over lava pits, and eventually smash Clockwork's head into scrap with his cane. It's insanely satisfying. With Clockwork defeated, Sly and Carmelita end their temporary alliance and she gives him a 10-second head start, which he wastes, steals a kiss, and runs off after handcuffing her to a railing. And then the credits roll, with a nice little post-credit scene that I won't spoil here. Once you beat the game, Bentley rewards you with a Japanese version of the game's intro, which is a nice little bonus reward. And you can also unlock the final safe in the game to get the last ability, complete the Thievius Raccoonus entirely, and then watch the credits again. By completing the story and opening all the clue bottle safes, you'll have earned the Platinum Trophy if you're playing the PS3 remaster like I was for this video. I don't really get these a lot, so it feels like a pretty good way to wrap up my time with Sly Cooper. Even back when Sly Cooper was new, even when I picked up this trilogy years ago, Sly Cooper seemed like a series I would like, and to put it simply, I did. I did like it. The characters were memorable, the levels are well crafted, the music is amazing, and except for a few complaints with the levels that completely changed the gameplay, I don't have many negative things to say about it. I'm really glad I was able to play through this, not just for the show, but for myself. I've been hearing for years that Sly 2 is considered the best in the trilogy, so hey, let me know if you'd like to see me cover that one down the road. And so now, when it comes to Sly Cooper 1, I don't really know what to do with myself.
Now, try beating all the Master Thief sprints to unlock the designer's commentary.
Nah.